Hi there. Thank you for joining me for podcast number 194, entitled Doing the Hard Stuff is Where You Learn the Most. There is no substitute for hard work. I'm sure that you've heard that before, but it is so true that it bears repeating, and frequently for that matter. Most people are looking for the easy way out, a magic pill, the surgery versus the lifestyle changes. Think about that. How are you going to be capable of defending your spot at the top of the heap if you got handed a ladder to get there? You won't have any of the necessary experiences or knowledge to maintain your place at the top. You would be an epic failure. There is no doubt. The hard work that I am talking about is your mindset and your self-esteem. These are that something that separates the poor from the rich, the average from the great, and the happy from the unhappy. If you want to distance yourself from the crowd, you have to do the hard work. Here's a couple of examples of what I'm talking about. Despite the circumstances that you were born into, you have a shot at changing them. A real shot, if you apply yourself. That's one of the many great things about the country that we live in, the fact that you can rise above almost anything to get ahead. We have all heard the story of the inner city kid or the poor rural child who got a college scholarship for sports or academics, or in some cases both, and gave themselves a real chance to excel. Sometimes it is because of those harsh circumstances that people learn to work hard, to change their lives, and to make it out of the confines that they were born into. There are systems in place that further help this agenda, and I am certain the world is a better place every time someone manages to escape their past and write a much better present and future for themselves. There is a world of knowledge at your fingertips. Through your phone or through the internet, there is no reason you can't change your mindset and in order to change your circumstances. If you were surrounded by people with negative thoughts and actions, then you need to change that by quote unquote surrounding yourself with people who are positive and successful. You can be friends with people like Grant Cardone and Tony Robbins and Tim Ferriss and Joe Rogan and anyone else who has a better outlook on life than you are currently getting from your immediate surroundings. There are no excuses. Do the work. In sports, there are three kinds of hard work: the daily, the long range, and then the competitive hard work. The daily work needs to be done in ways that will vary widely, depending on what you are trying to accomplish. If you want to lose 10 pounds, then 3 days a week of workouts and a little bit better diet will probably do the trick. If you are trying to make the U.S. Olympic team, you'd better be working your ass off day and night. Your long-range goals should dictate your daily approach. The macro needs to lead the micro. Again, if you are gunning for the world stage, you have an awful lot of people out there to be better than, and an awful lot of people out there are working just as hard, if not harder, than you are. This means you need to work hard, work smart, and stay healthy to train. You'll need to get help along the way in a variety of areas. You're going to need to assemble a team of supporters who can help you get to where you want to go, and you will need to uphold the support of those people with your daily efforts. When you look at the competitive side of sports, take it from me that the physical requirements are a given. You must have developed them along the way to a very high degree, otherwise you're really not in the game at the top level. Once you have achieved this and are able to maintain it, now most of what you do switches to the mental side of things. You have to learn to effectively handle everything that comes your way. Things like competitive stress, wins and losses, heartache, execution under stress, injuries, and much, much more. You need to work on these things daily as well. You can't wait until you're on the podium to think about who to thank. You can't wait until the only thing you have to look forward to for the next 8 weeks is a grinding and painful rehab before you start thinking about how things are going to look when you bounce back and come through on the other side. If you are serious about greatness, you are thinking about these types of things all the time. And pretty soon you'll reach a point where nothing really catches you by surprise. I recently watched a great short video clip of Kobe Bryant, and probably from maybe, I would say, 6 to 8 years ago. He was imparting some great wisdom that I thought was worth sharing. He was speaking to a girl who was one of the top college basketball players in the country at that time. She went to Notre Dame, and they had lost in the semifinals of the national tournament that year. He asked her if she had watched the footage of that game yet, and she replied, "Oh no, I never ever want to see that. It was too hard to take." He immediately invited her down to his office the next day to watch the game footage with him. He asked a very poignant question of her. How are you going to avoid making those same mistakes if you don't review that game footage and learn from what you saw? So the next day, they watched that game together, and she saw what she needed specifically to work on. Not just more things, but the exact things that faltered under pressure.
The tear in my eye drops on the floor alongside my speed.
That's doing the hard work. There is no finishing.
I drenching in the blind. I feel just to get it. When I look around me, everything I had went up in flames. My lonely way.
You have some serious reprogramming. If you have your own doubts, you need to get to work on those things too. Everybody has something, so don't think that you're alone. But you will be a better and smaller company when you start to do this.
When I look around me, everything I had went up in flames. My lonely way.
But if that's not good enough, grab a shovel and start digging. Get professional help if you need to, but that work has to get done. If not, the demons that haunt you are going to move into the basement and start looking at you. So to recap, only you know where your weak spots really are.
I never pray to God anymore.
Only you can dig through that muck.
I'd rather no one hurt me.
You have to do the hard work.
Redemption, I have waited for you to come and drown all my sins.
So some additional
in the blind, I feel just to get it.
but I do believe that he slid into that spot as the best competitor, in addition to being one of the best basketball players in the game at that time. And that mindset,
Everything I had went up in flames. My lonely way.
not familiar, Kobe Bryant skipped college, went from high school right into the pros. So he was skinnier and smaller and several years younger than everybody in the league. And in the beginning, he was out-muscled and outclassed all the time. But unlike some other players, and that list is very, very small, LeBron James, who also skipped college and went right from high school to the pros, when Kobe signed his contract, he spent 8 hours that day practicing. When LeBron signed his pro contract, he held a press conference with Nike explaining that he had signed a team contract and how he was going to take over the alongside my speed. Credit, he didn't reach that same level, but very, very close to it.
My knees are drenching in the blood I spill just to get it. When I look around me, everything I had went up in flames. My lonely way.
And he put in all of that hard work to get to that level, and did so in a much quicker fashion, in my opinion. I think if you look at statistically, that would be but that's one example. Like, it's easy to use.
When I look around, everything I had went up in flames. My lonely
I was
way.
supposed to have somebody that was going to mentor me for, well, maybe in perpetuity in that industry. And after 1 month, he left. I didn't know anything about the workers' comp insurance world. I had no idea how to sell our products, how to position it correctly. I was left by my life to figure all those things out. So I didn't knock on the door of UPS before I knew what I was doing.
I never pray to God anymore.
I had to do
I'd
some trial and
rather no
error,
one
fall on my face,
hurt
get back up and try
me.
again, get some wins under my belt.
Redemption, I have waited for you to come and drown all my My knees are drenching in the blood I spill just to get it. When I look around me, everything I had went up in flames.
American Red Cross, and a host of other names that you would recognize for sure. You don't get to start at the top. You've got to do the hard work. You've got to look at the goal to be and work your way backwards to where you are now. Be realistic about the work.
Everything I had went up in flames. My lonely way.
Struggles, everything from attitude, thoughts about money, and whatever it is that gives you something holding you back, you have to quiet space, think about that stuff, journal about it, whatever it may be that's going to help you get those thoughts front and center.
I don't wanna
Start to figure out what you
fight
can change to
anymore.
put your life on a different path.
Just turn
Again, if you're
around
happy
and
with where you
leave
don't change anything.
me.
But if you're really looking
The tear in my eye drops on the floor alongside my
and it's going to be an ongoing process for you to have have to be special, talented, or lucky, or whatever you think. All you have to do is start the process and work. Nobody has the answers to that yet. Just take one step forward on the path.
When I look around me, everything I had went up in flames. My lonely ways.
And look how different and better of a person I am. I encourage you to do the work and never stop doing the work. The reward you will be on the back end. As always, I don't have all the answers, but you are welcome to the answers that I have. Feel free to reach out to me
I
through my
never
website at
pray to
darrentravis.com
God
or
anymore.
on any of my social media platforms.
I'd
Instagram,
rather
Twitter,
no one
LinkedIn, at Darren
hurt
Chatter.
me.
I'd love to hear from you. If I can help, I certainly will.
Redemption, I have waited for you to come.